Nazi. What you think?
We gotta kill him.
For fans of the modern Wolfenstein series, the changes in Youngblood are going to stick out like a German tank rolling into Poland. Of course, that's partly because it was co-developed by Arcane Studios, the developers of Dishonored. But have they dishonored the series by making it cooperative? Wolfenstein Youngblood is a spin-off installment in Machine Games' hyper-violent alternate history. It's the 1980s, and Nazi-murdering duo BJ Blazkowicz and Anya now have two beautiful Nazi-murdering daughters, the enigmatic and borderline redneck Sophie and Jess.
Twin sisters.
At the disappearance of their father, it's up to them to enter Nazi-controlled Europe and blast their way back to Papa Blazkowicz. Youngblood sees you traversing a small sandbox of Nazi-infested France. At home base, you'll collect missions from a chain-smoking French lady and her colourful allies, before then heading out into Nazi territory.
It's a cool, resistance base down here.
It's a tight corridored hub connected by metro stations that you can fast travel to once you've visited them on foot, which is a bloody awful public transport system, but probably still beats Sydney trains. Missions in certain parts of the world are level gated by impossible to beat enemies that are overpowered until you're within their level range.
Whoa! Holy shit!
In some ways, it's exciting to explore as you do genuinely feel like you're behind enemy lines.
Hey, Gestapo!
But the trade-off is that there's no real pacing to the missions and level design, which is doubly confusing with a teammate.
Oh, that's amazing.
While areas are varied and have some beautiful detail, you'll barely notice it as you race each other to mission markers, pouring rounds into the same old bullet spongy baddies. But at least this time there is someone there to share the sponge load.
I'm running out of ammo for everything.
For all you friendless losers out there, you can play solo with an AI-controlled sister, and on the normal difficulty setting, this was totally fine.
Keep up the good work, Soph.
The computer-controlled character is not much for clearing enemies, but does act as a decent meat shield, and is smart enough to come pick you up if you do get knocked down.
Let's go! I'm on this one!
There's also a matchmaking system to link you up with someone random online. But chances are they've got their privacy settings wrong, and you're gonna get kicked anyway, so Steve can jump in.
Is that you, Steve?
The best way to play is definitely with friends, and as with that weird EA co-op Prison Break game, you can actually save some money by going Harveys. We don't usually labour on price points, but the cost of a single copy of the game at launch is $50 on digital stores. However, the deluxe version of the game comes with a buddy pass, which lets a friend play co-op with you for free. So if you split the cost down the middle, you can play through the game for 35 schmackos each. Pretty decent value for a AAA title from a major series, even if it is a spin-off. After years of training under the best, Jess and Soph are just as capable at killing as their parents, and actually have a couple of tricks up their sleeve which makes them dependent on each other. For starters, there's a shared life system. When a sister is shot down, she can be revived by the other, or tap out and spend one of the 3 bankable lives. Only after you and your co-op buddy burn through all the lives will you see the game over loading screen.
Oh, what?
Oh, no.
Then there's the pep system, which gives each sister an equipable buff, that when cast affects both players. These range from short-term damage boosts to health and armor restoration, and are activated on pretty short cooldowns, so you'll be able to use them a couple of times in a big fight.
Big dude, coming down the hallway.
Uh-oh.
They're easy to forget, but are a vital part of the strategy in long, tough fights. Plus, they also come attached to hilarious emotes.
Look at me.
There's Steve behind you!
Beyond the perk system are some deeper RPG mechanics like basic skill trees and weapon upgrades. You get skill currency by leveling up through gameplay, and the weapon and cosmetic upgrades are purchased with silver coins, which are quite abundant throughout the world. There is a microtransaction currency, but I doubt anyone's going to need to crack open their wallets to get the upgrades they want before they're done with the game.
Check out my outfit.
Yeah, that's sick.
And it wouldn't be a Bethesda game without bugs.
Oh my god, what a weird glitch.
People are reporting some crashing, glitching through the map, and spikes in netcode. I'm not sure if this is a bug, but this super soldat took a lot more punishment than even the most grotesque Nazi science experiment should be able to.
Why won't you die?
Overall, Wolfenstein Youngblood is the sequel we did not see coming. Where the New Order's outrageous story, visceral gameplay, and nostalgic level design made it an instant classic, Youngblood veers too hard from these pillars for it to live up to its predecessors. But I like that they've tried something a little different, even if they didn't totally stick the landing.
Holy hell!
And at the end of the day, this is still a solid Nazi killing romp to enjoy with your friends. Well, friend.